So a teenage version of myself would likely be asking me a very pertinent question right about now. Why is it that I'm starting a learning channel now that my formal university studies are complete? Isn't all that cumbersome hard work and studying and learning things behind us now? See, I was the epitome of the fixed mindset when I was younger. I was in the habit of counting down the subjects I had left until graduation, rather than trying to absorb every morsel of knowledge from that subject that I could while I had the time. The problem with that is that I had to learn these things anyway, right? So why not just aim to learn them properly? See, I was missing the true point of education. I wanted to count down to the end destination and have the degree in my hand and be able to put it on my CV so that I could earn a fancier job title and thereby get a correspondingly fancy paycheck. And that may be why it took me 7 years to complete 4 years of engineering studies. It may also be why I've been playing guitar for half of my life, but I'm still not able to read music or recognize pitch by ear. I kept seeing some great end goal of knowledge somewhere off in the distance, but I wanted very little to do with the actual uphill climb that would get me there. And yet, in my private time, a better, newer way of doing things was already beginning to take shape. See, in my private time, I'd come across these subjects and topics that would completely obsess me, and without any illusions of economic or real-world utility, I was beginning to learn things simply for their own sake. And really that should be the central point of education. And we should be seeking the subjects that we are infinitely stimulated and fascinated by and continue to learn as much as we possibly can about those subjects. And perhaps then, after all of that learning, perhaps then a realistic idea of some way of applying that learning in the real world would begin to take shape, rather than the other way around of having the destination, fancy job title, and what is it going to take to get me there? If you have no real emotional investment in the subject matter, you're going to have a hard time getting to a place of true mastery. So the topics that infinitely fascinate you should be the ones that you start your journey on without necessarily knowing where that journey ends. So the point of starting this channel is for me to find those topics. I'll be stumbling my way headlong into things that go way over my head until I eventually learn to paddle haphazardly. The aim here is mastery, our way of implementing the growth mindset as opposed to the fixed one. It's about finding the subjects that set curiosity ablaze, and it's about sticking it out with each one of them until actual real-world applications of that knowledge begin to take shape. It's about sucking less the hard way, incrementally, not suddenly waking up a genius, but taking 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 very slow and painful steps. Okay, stop it.